Welcome back to a new video. So today we're kicking it off with a new project. So this is my 1990 Mazda MX5. So I bought this car because I wanted a Mark 1 for quite a while now. So I picked it up pretty cheap for a Mark 1 as they're going up in price now. But its MOT's round the corner and there's a hole in the rear sill. So that is one of the main issues with it. Literally just one of the sills needs welding. I've noticed the exhaust, it's kind of been bodged, so that needs taking out and probably re-welding. But other than that, it's a pretty solid car. It's a 1990, so it's really clean for its age. But yeah, we're just gonna, the plan is fix it up and then sell it. So we're just gonna do a quick inspection and see if we can find any faults with it. But yeah, like I said, there's not really much wrong with the car. It's quite a solid car, to be honest, but we'll see how it goes. So I'm just going to start by getting the car up in the air, and then we can basically give it a full inspection and see if we can find anything wrong with it, basically. But yeah, we'll go from there. So car's up in the air now. Just quickly get underneath and show you the rust. So it's literally just this back corner here. I don't know if you can see, but there's a big chunk missing. But it actually looks like someone's been at it before. So all this up here looks like it's been done before, but it looks like it's been done with fiberglass or something. It's certainly not been welded. Look, it just falls apart. To me, that's just been absolutely bodged. So I think the whole lot's gonna need coming out, and then yeah, look at that, and then completely re-welding up shut. So I'm gonna have to whip the wheel off. But look at the state of that. Oh yeah, whip the wheel off, and then we can assess all the damages properly and hopefully start welding it up then. So I've had the screwdriver out and basically tried to hit everything that's weak. So that is all the spots where it's gone through. So next steps now, probably going to get the grinder on it all, just try and clean it all up, find the good metal basically, and then once we get to like basically the shiny metal that we can weld to, we can basically cut out everything that needs cutting out. So I'll probably aim to do this in one piece sort of thing, and then again down here I think probably come up to about here and then just do one big plate there, but then we're gonna have to do a separate one to bring it around there. But yeah, we're just gonna have to do it in a couple of pieces, but once we've got the grinder out, we'll be able to see where we're up to basically with it then. So yeah, that's going to be next steps. Well, literally all that came out of it, so it was definitely rusty. So I've gone round the full car now. So obviously we've got this rear quarter, which is the main lot, and then I've gone down the full sill with the hammer just to make sure. And there's that little hole there, so I am going to be cutting that out and patching that up as well. But usually it's like right up in that corner, and that's all fine. And then if we go around onto the other side, this back quarter here doesn't look too bad. There's all this here, but that just feels like the paint, the seal that it's been used. So I'm just gonna sand that back and clean it up a lot better, but I don't think there's any welding necessarily that needs doing on this side. However, then on the front, the wing that had a hole in it, so that's going to need basically cutting off there, and then a new piece welding on there. But then obviously that needs bolting then to the chassis. But then if you look underneath, there's also a little hole there and there. So I'm just going to put a tiny piece in there and weld them. And then once the wing goes on, obviously that'll cover them anyway. So that doesn't need to be perfect, but we'll get it as best as we can. But yeah, then the wing, will probably end up welding a strip along the top and then try and sort of shape it around a bit. And then this black paint at the bottom, I'm gonna reseal that, so it should last a lot longer. But yeah, other than that, the rest of the car is solid. So I'm just gonna go around now with the grinder, just get a sanding disc and basically try and get to the clean metal so it's ready to weld. And then I'm gonna make some little templates out of cardboard, and then I can go home and cut them, and then they're ready to weld on then. But yeah, it's looking good so far. So I've just been going around with the grinder. I've gone back to this rear quarter and I've just found this other chunk. So this side's also been done before. So this side is going to need doing now, but it's not as bad as the other side. So I think for this side, I'm just going to run a plate underneath there, and then we can still do one flat plate there, but it doesn't need to be as big. And then we can just tidy up this corner bit here. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go around this now with the grinder. But the top end doesn't look, it's solid, it's not going through, so I'll probably clean that up as well. But no welding needs doing up there. So yeah, I'll clean this one up, and then we can get some templates made, and then I can go and get them all cut then on a sheet of metal. So I've just finished making the plates for the driver's side. So I'm just going to quickly go around and give it another sand with a grinder, and then we can start by welding it all in. So let's get started. So I've just finished welding this front section now, so I'm just going to quickly grind it down, make sure I've not missed any little holes, and then it's pretty much ready then to just go over it, seal it with a bit of paint, but grind it down now, and then we can move on to the back quarter then. So I've just finished grinding it down now. I think I might go over it with some body filler, and then sand it down flush, and then we can paint over the top of that. But for now, it's gonna stay like that, and we can move on to the back quarter then. So I've just finished welding the top bit now. Bit hard to film because it's so tight in there, but yeah, welding that's done on the top now, so I can now move on to the bottom bit. But I think this bottom bit we're gonna have to do it in probably 2 or 3 pieces, we'll see. But I have made the main plate to go there to cover that bit up, and then once that's welded in, I can basically shape it all then and do this bottom bit and everything like that. But we're ready to move on to that bit now. So I'm just getting ready now to tackle this bottom bit. I'm going to quickly go over it again with the grinder just one last time, try and clean it up as best I can, and then once it's all clean, we can then start by getting the welder out. So yeah, get cracking with that now. So I've just finished welding this bottom section now. I will have to do it one more piece just to cover around that bottom section there. But yeah, we'll get this one done in 2 pieces. So yeah, get that one welded, and then we can quickly grind down the welds. And then, like I say, we'll just need to treat it then with some paint. So I've just finished welding this back bit now. Been a bit hard to film because it's underneath the car. I've not really managed to film much of it, but that is it now. It's all done, this back quarter. So yeah, I'm just gonna quickly go over it now with the grinder, just try and flatten off the welds a bit, and then I'm gonna have to quickly blast over it with some paint because it is starting to get a bit of surface rust on it now around the edges. But yeah, once I've gone around with the grinder, I'll just give it a light mist with paint, and then once we've got the full car welded, basically we can do the full underside then and paint the whole lot then. But yeah, it's looking good so far. So I'm just quickly going to go over this patch with some body filler, just so when I paint it there's no like imperfections or anything showing up on it. And then we can give it a quick sand, and then eventually we're going to paint the full strip again in black. But for now, I'm just going to give it a light mist just because it is starting to get a bit rusty. It's only surface rust, but I don't want it getting any worse, so I'm going to put filler on that, light mist the paint, and then same again basically on this, just give it a quick blast of paint just so it doesn't go rusty, and then we can tidy the full car up then when the rest of the car's done basically. But yeah, I'm gonna crack on with that now. So I've just give the body filler a quick sand now, just to get rid of any imperfections and low spots or anything when I give it a quick blast of paint. But yeah, I'm just gonna go over it dead quick just so it doesn't start rusting, and then when the full car's done, I'm gonna probably go back up to this line again with the bitumen. So that's what I'm going to be using. I've used it before, it's pretty good, prevents any rust coming back. So yeah, I'll just quickly go over that little section there, and then once everything's done rust wise, I'll mask that up, and then we can blast the full side on both sides, and the underside done. But let's go. So that's it now with the paint on. So as you can see, you can barely even see it now, so I'm pretty happy with that. But yeah, we can move on to the rest of the welding now. I've just quickly gone over the back section as well with the bitumen paint, just so it doesn't rust over time whilst I'm doing the other side, because it did have a little bit of surface rust on it, but that'll stop that from rusting now. And then I'll probably end up giving that one a second coat when I blast over the rest of the car. But yeah, it's looking good, that. I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm just getting ready now to start on this side. I've got my cardboard template ready. I just need to obviously cut that out in the metal now. But yeah, I think I'm going to get the metal plate in there first, and then probably tackle this outside bit. But yeah, once the metal's in, I'll know then what to cut and what not to cut basically, and then we can go over it with a grinder, clean it all up, and then get welding again then. But yeah, starting on this side now. So I'm pretty much ready to start welding now. I've made the templates out of metal now, so I'm gonna have to do this first bit in 3 pieces, because I'm struggling to find good metal really to weld to. So I think I'm going to put the first one at the back there, just so I've got something to weld to for the main bit. Same again with the inner piece, and actually close that section off there. So once the inside bit is done, I'm then going to tackle the outside. So I think I'm literally just going to cut the outer skin off, and then just re-weld it over the top of this. I will be trying to neaten this up a bit better than what it is, but yeah, I think that's going to be the best bet without pretty much cutting the whole car to bits basically. But yeah, I'm just going to go in with the grinder now, clean up all this bit best I can so we can weld to it, and then yeah, once the inside bit's done I can concentrate on the outside then. But yeah, get cracking with that now. So I've finished welding the two side bits now, so I'm just getting ready to do the main section. So I'll get that welded in, and then the inner bit should be done, and then we can move on to the outer bit then. But yeah, coming along well now. So that's it now on the inner sill. So now that's all done, we can now move on to the outside. So like I say, I think I'm literally just gonna probably cut off just short of where I need, and then I can clean it all up, see where the good metal is, and then if I need to cut more I can do. But yeah, cut the main lot of rust out, and then just put, I'm thinking just one big sheet going right the way down then. But yeah, once that's done we can then move on to the front, which is pretty much the same again, just cut it out and fold it under. But yeah, that's on the wing, so that should be a little bit easier. But yeah, other than that, it's starting to come along nicely now, so stay tuned. So I've cut out the bottom section now. It's been a bit tricky because it's been absolutely filled with body filler, so I've been struggling a bit with it, but I've decided I'm just going to try my best to weld to the metal that I found, and then at least it'll all be in one piece again. But then stuff like this where it's just pure body filler, I'm just going to have to go over it again with more body filler. It's not really what I wanted to do, but otherwise I'll just end up cutting half the sill out, and I ain't got enough metal for that. So yeah, we're just going to box it up with this plate that I've made now, and then quickly go over it with some body filler. I definitely won't be going mad filling holes like that. Literally just right over the top, sand it down, and then blast it with some paint. But yeah, I'm gonna start welding that in now, and then once it's all welded in place, grind it back, and then we can go from there. So I've just finished welding that now. I'm just going to quickly go over it with a grinder, just make sure I've not missed any bits. But yeah, it definitely wasn't easy. But yeah, it's definitely a lot better than what it was. But like I said, I'm still going to have to go over it with a filler. Didn't really want to do that, but is what it is. At the end of the day, it'll still pass its MOT now that it's all in one solid piece of metal. So yeah, I'm gonna crack on with that now, make it look as best I can now. So I've just finished grinding it all down now. Like I say, it's not the best, but it works. So I'm just gonna get ready now to mix up some filler, and slap that over the top. Just try and smooth it out with the rest of the panel then. But yeah, once the body filler's on, sand it down, and then can just blast over it all with the paint. But yeah, once that's done we can move on to the front wing then. So I'm just getting ready to move on to the front now. So I've cut out all the rust, I've grinded it back, and then I've made me template. So I'm just going to get ready now, tack that in, and then we can weld it all in. But what we're like to do on this one is, once it's all welded in, I'm going to have to drill the 2 holes that bolt the wing on, because the rust is right over them 2 holes, so I'll have to re-drill them out. But I can wait till it's all welded in and we can mark it out properly then. But yeah, moving on to that now. So I've let the body filler dry overnight now, so I'm just going to quickly rub that down, and then we've got the 2 holes to drill out to bolt the wing on. Once they're drilled out, we can get that bolted on properly, and then I think once they're done, I think I'm going to whip the front wheels off, and then I'm going to blast over the full underside of the car with that bitumen spray paint, and just try and seal everything as best I can. And then I think whilst that's drying, we can move on to the exhaust then, because at the minute it's got like a little clamp over it, as you can see there. I've been told it was blowing from here, so I'm literally just gonna take that off, and try and clean up all this. It looks like it's been patched with something before, so yeah, if I can take that off, clean it up, I'm assuming it's gonna need welding, but yeah, we'll have a look at that as well once whilst the paint's drying basically. So yeah, let's get cracking. So I've just finished sanding the rear quarter now. I'm going to go over it again with some filler, because there's quite a few deep gouges in it that they need to be higher. So I'm just going to literally go over pretty much that section there with a bit more filler. Let that dry, sand over it again, and that's pretty much good to go then. And then we can move on to the front. But yeah, it's coming along pretty nice. So just going to let that dry now. Whilst that's drying, I'm going to start sanding this side down. Hopefully this one doesn't need another go over, and we can start drilling the holes out on that then. But yeah, let's get cracking with this now. So I've just finished sanding both front and back now, so they're all pretty much ready to go now. So I just need to clean it up and blast over it with the paint. But like I say, I'm going to do this full bottom strip, so I need to clean it up and mask basically the line, and then we can go over the full underside with the black paint then. And then I also need to whip the front wheels off, and then we can do all in the wheel arches and get right underneath and everything like that. And then it's pretty much good to go. Oh, and the exhaust, we need to weld the exhaust. And then I'm also going to paint the calipers as well, because they could do with another go over, so I'm going to sand them down as well and paint them. But I think it looks pretty good in the yellow, so I might stick with that. And then once all that's done, I can probably throw it back down on the floor then, or I might keep it on the blocks, but throw the wheels back on, so it's ready then to do the service and everything like that. But yeah, it's coming along well now. So I've just whipped the exhaust off now. There's a little bit there that's not sealed properly, so I think that's all that it was on about. So I'm just going to quickly weld that patch up there, and then we're good to go. Throw it back on. So I've just finished welding that now, so that's ready to throw back in the car now. So get cracking with that. So exhaust is all back on now, so it's pretty much ready to go now. But yeah, coming along pretty nice. Like I say, I've still got the sealant to do on the sides, and then paint the calipers. But yeah, it's coming along quite nice now. But that's it for this video. If you've enjoyed, make sure you like and subscribe, and stay tuned for part 2.